Today we are going to do a book haul because let me tell you, I don't think I have ever had this many new books at once in my life before. Oh my god. Well, okay. You have my attention. I have never read this book before. Shout out to my friend for fueling my unhealthy obsession over a fictional man. Hello friends, how are you? I hope you are doing okay. And today we are going to take a break from all the recommendations and we're going to do a book haul. Because for some reason unknown, I have had so many new books coming in this week. And I believe I have said in one of my videos before that I always envy people who can do book haul on YouTube. Well, look at me now, who would have thought? So shall we start with the haul already? So first I have a series of 7 books and I think this will come up as a surprise to some of you, but I have the Harry Potter series. This is not for me, this is a gift from me to my little sister because I want to encourage her to read more in English. And I asked her what kind of books she want to read, so she named Harry Potter series and that's why I got them for her. Now I have a confession. I have never read this book before. And if you have never noticed the other video on my channel, I read Harry Potter fanfiction, especially dramione fanfictions. And a lot of my friends has always been at my throat saying, so you read Harry Potter fanfiction without actually reading Harry Potter? And I'm like, well, yeah, I read fanfiction because what I want to read is not in here. Will I read this now that I have a copy in my hand? Maybe. I feel like I will have so much time on my hand in the summer that I may ending up reading through this story. We will see. Now, because we're on the topic of Harry Potter, I wanted to do something with you guys. So recently, one of my really close friends has gifted me this official collector Draco Malfoy one, and I already opened it the second that I got my hands on it, but I want to do it again on camera because there's something that's been bugging me ever since. So please tell me if I'm hallucinating. But I remember vividly in the scene at the Shell Cottage where Mr. Ollivander was identifying the wands that they got back from Malfoy Manor. He said 3 things about Draco wand. First, hawthorn wood. Second, unicorn hair core. Third, 10 inches. And I feel like the detail of his wand has come up in fanfiction so many times that I don't think I was making up that detail. So please tell me why. This wand is not 10 inch. Now, I am no Mr. Ollivander, right? So I cannot tell if this is hawthorn wood or if there's a unicorn hair in the middle of this thing. But the length I can measure. And let me tell you, it's not 10, it's 12. And this is what? Official collector one. So why are they not making this 10 inch? But all that aside, I am very thankful that my friend decided out of the blue to get this for me because I don't think I will ever spend my own money on buying wands. Because let's be honest here, what use do I have for this? Shout out to my friend for fueling my unhealthy obsession over a fictional man and a couple that is not even canon. So moving on from the Harry Potter fandom at once, we have the next book and that is Dune by Frank Herbert. Again, this is not for me, this is a gift from me to my boyfriend's brother because I also want to encourage him to read more in English, but unfortunately it came damaged. The back cover was torn and the front cover was all messed up. So I have already placed a replacement order and I will be dropping this off at the post office right after I film this video. Next, we have 2 copies of Chanel Miller memoir, Know My Name. And if you guys have not heard about Chanel Miller or the memoir, she was previously known as Emily Doe in the sexual assault case at Stanford, and now she is ready to tell us her story. The reason why I have 2 copies of this memoir is because I wanted this one so badly, but I couldn't find it until after I have placed the order for this one. Now I remember the first time that I saw this memoir or heard of it is in one of With Cindy video, and it was this edition. I remember wanting to read it so much, but for some reason it just slipped off my mind until recently I saw a lot of this edition coming up on social media, so I got reminded of the whole book. Now I think that this green cover is super aesthetically pleasing and the text in here is also a little bit bigger, so I think in terms of readability this one is better. But in my opinion, when it comes to this story, this memoir, I wanted to see her, I wanted to look at her when I read her story, and I want others to see her as well. If I ever read this book in public, I want them to know exactly what I'm reading, exactly who she is, and what her story entails. I am 3 chapters through this book already, and let me tell you, With me, whenever I read books, I devour them like there's no tomorrow. But with this one, it's so gut-punching, it's so painful that I have to take so many stops, as if I have to take a breather in between the chapters. And even though I'm only 3 chapters into this book, I already feel like this is going to be among my favorites and the ones that I will never forget that I have read. Next, we have 4 books that was so kindly gifted to me by my cousin, and here they are. The first one is The Violent Delight by Chloe Gong, and this story, I believe, is a love story between an heir and an heiress of 2 rival gangs in Shanghai in 1920s. They were killing each other off, but they have to put their grudges aside and work toward a common goal, because I believe there was a plague and a monster threatening their city. So this one appeals to me the most out of the 4 books, because doesn't it sound dramione to you? I think I will start reading this book pretty soon, now that I finished with the disappearances of Draco Malfoy, because first, the synopsis just appealed to me the most, and second, this is a hardcover and I wanted to read it fast because I will do some traveling in June, and I wanted to only bring paperback if I can on the plane with me. So that is why I think I will start reading it right after I am done with all of my schoolwork. Next, we have Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman, and I remember seeing this book so many times in bookstore and Target, and always pick it up because of how beautiful and how pretty the cover is. I believe this once again is a romance book between Eleanor Oliphant and Raymond, a bumbling IT guy from her office. The synopsis reads, meet Eleanor Oliphant. She struggles with appropriate social skill and tends to say exactly what she's thinking. Nothing is missing in her carefully timetable life, where weekends mostly consist of frozen pizza, vodka, and phone chat with mommy. But everything changed when Eleanor meets Raymond, the bumbling IT guy from her office, whose big heart will ultimately help Eleanor find a way to repair her own profoundly damaged one. I have heard so many things about this book, and because of the pretty cover, I feel like I will also have a good time reading this book. Next, we have Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, and I know she's all over social media and she probably deserves it as well with the quality of work that she put out and the amount of quality work that she put out as well. I do not know anything about this book. Let us read the synopsis together. It's not exactly love at first sight for Tate Collins when she meets the tormented and secretive Mal Archer. They wouldn't even go so far as to consider themselves friends. The only thing Tate and Miles have in common is a mutual physical attraction that can't be denied. Once their desires are out in the open, they realize they may have stumbled on the perfect no-string arrangement. He isn't looking for love and she doesn't have time for it, so that leaves just the sex. What they've got could be surprisingly satisfying as long as Tate can stick to the 2 rules Miles had for her. Never ask about the past, don't expect a future. They think they can handle it, but everything is different when real emotions start to change the equation. Well, okay, you have my attention. I'm currently feeling super happy right now because I already have an elite lineup waiting for me after my graduations. Lastly, we have Anxious People by Frederick Backman, and I believe Backman is my cousin's favorite author, and this one is one of her favorite books, so I actually have really high hope for this book. I also remember seeing this book so many times in Target and bookstore. I think I know just a little bit about the plot of this book, but let us also read the synopsis together. It's looking at real estate isn't usually a life or death situation, but an apartment open house becomes just that when a failed bank robber bursts in and takes a group of 8 strangers hostage. Each of them carries a lifetime of grievance, hurt, secrets, and passion that are ready to boil over. None of them is entirely who they appear to be. In short, they are the worst group of hostages in the world. But as the minutes tick by, they begin to suspect that the criminal mastermind holding them hostage may be more in need of rescuing than they are. As the authority and the media surround these premises, these reluctant allies will reveal surprising truth about themselves and set in motion a chain of events so unexpected that even they can hardly explain what happened next. Okay, you also have my attention. Like I say, I already have an elite lineup waiting for me when I graduate. So that is all that I have for this haul. I think this will be just a short and casual video. Please do not come from my throat with the confession that I've shared with you guys in this video. And I will see you in the next one with another Harry Potter fanfiction recommendation. Goodbye.